Said I'm about to make history. Said I'm about to make history. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy American Mass coming to y'all with another episode of Black History Year. I hope y'all are doing well out there. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You know, these times are usually kind of tough for me, you know, because I lost my mom when I was 8 years old. So, you know, it's usually tough dealing with, you know, seeing all the happy Mother's Day stuff going on and everything. But, you know, I usually get through it. And now, you know, with this channel, like, stuff like this really helps me get through, you know, just working in general. You know, I'm a filmmaker and everything, you know, I do a lot of different type of work. So working on stuff has always been a big thing that just got me through, you know, like tough times. You know, like I'm one of those people that I gotta be doing something. I gotta be moving, you know, I gotta be working, gotta be studying some, gotta be reading some, you know. I'm always trying to just keep myself going, trying to keep my brain racing. So I hope you guys are doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Today, in honor of Mother's Day, we gonna talk about the great Coretta Scott King. This is like one of the most important women in Black history. Like, she did so much for our people, like after Dr. King passed away. You know, there's a lot that she did that I don't know if people know about. So that's what we gonna get into today. Now, Coretta Scott King was born on April 27th of 1927 in Marion, Alabama. She graduated valedictorian and then went on to receive her BA from Antioch College in Music and Education. She then went on to study concert singing at Boston's New England Conservatory of Music, where she earned a degree in voice and violin. While in Boston, she met Martin Luther King, who was then studying for his doctorate in systematic theology at Boston University. They got married on June 18th of 1953, and in September 1954, they took up residence in Montgomery, Alabama, with Coretta Scott assuming many responsibilities of a pastor's wife at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. During Dr. King's career, Coretta devoted most of her time to raising their 4 children: Yolanda Denise, Martin Luther III, Dexter Scott, and Bernice Albertine. From the earliest days, however, she balanced mothering and movement work by speaking at colleges, civic centers, fraternal organizations, and peace groups. She conceived and performed a series of favorably reviewed freedom concerts which combined prose and poetry narration with musical selections and functioned as significant fundraisers for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. In 1957, her and Dr. King journeyed to Ghana to mark that country's independence. Then in 1958, they spent a belated honeymoon in Mexico, where they observed firsthand the immense gulf between extreme wealth and extreme poverty. In 1959, Dr. and Miss King spent nearly a month in India on a pilgrimage to disciples and sites associated with Gandhi. In 1964, she accompanied Dr. King to Norway, where he received his Nobel Peace Prize. Even prior to her husband's public stand against the Vietnam War in 1967, Coretta Scott King functioned as liaison to peace and justice organizations and as a mediator to public officials on behalf of the unheard. After her husband's assassination in 1968, Coretta Scott founded and devoted great energy and commitment to building and developing programs for the Atlanta-based Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change as a living memorial to her husband's life and dream. Situated in the Freedom Hall complex encircling Dr. King's tomb, the King Center is today located inside of a 23-acre National Historic Park, which includes his birth home, which hosts over 1 million visitors a year. As founding president, chair, and chief executive officer, she dedicated herself to providing local, national, and international programs that have trained tens of thousands of people in Dr. King's philosophy and methods. She guided the creation and housing of the largest archives of documents from the Civil Rights Movement. And perhaps her greatest legacy after establishing the King Center itself was when she spearheaded the massive educational and lobbying campaign to establish Dr. King's birthday as a national holiday. In 1983, an act of Congress instituted the Martin Luther King Jr. Federal Holiday Commission, which she chaired for its duration. Then in 1986, she oversaw the first legal holiday in honor of her husband, a holiday which has come to be celebrated by millions of people worldwide and in some form in over 100 countries. She led goodwill missions to many countries in Africa, Latin America, Europe, and Asia. She spoke at many of history's most massive peace and justice rallies. Being one of the most influential African American leaders of her time, she received honorary doctorates from over 60 colleges and universities. She also authored 3 books and a nationally syndicated newspaper column, and served on and helped found dozens of organizations including the Black Leadership Forum, the National Black Coalition for Voter Participation, and the Black Leadership Roundtable. During her lifetime, she dialogued with heads of state, including prime ministers and presidents, as well as participating in protests alongside rank and file working people of all races. In 1985, Coretta Scott and 3 of her children were arrested at the South African Embassy in Washington, D.C. for protesting against apartheid. She stood with Nelson Mandela in Johannesburg when he became South Africa's first democratically elected president. Coretta Scott tirelessly carried the message of non-violence and the dream of the beloved community to almost every corner of our nation and the globe. After she passed away in 2006, a few days after her death, thousands of Atlantans stood in line in pouring sleet to pay their respects to her at a viewing in Ebenezer Baptist Church. And that's gonna do it for this episode of Black History. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, like, share, and we gonna keep this thing moving. We gonna keep this train going, and we out.
Future looking like the sun when you
Oh, I think it's rough.
Lesson for beginners. Get checked before you enter in the building with